Good morning, YouTube fam. Welcome to Disability, Relationship, and Encouragement. I'm your host, Sean Ferguson. Um, and before I go to my message, please click the like button, subscribe to my channel, and click the notification. So, as you may know, still we are still continuing on the relationships, yeah, relationship series, and so on and so forth. Um, basically, um, I know in the previous message, I actually did talk about like um, basically just getting healthy or get mentally healthy before you go out on a date, which dating app you should choose, and um, and asking just certain or very important questions and things like that, and and see if it's a deal breaker or not. So um, so Uh, for this one, we're gonna go a little bit deeper. Um, we, you may know, I know there's some important questions that you have to ask that person and things like that. Especially something about, let's say, mental health and other things and personal hygienes and stuff like that. Um, so Okay, so for today's message, I'm gonna discuss to you guys about who not to date. Um, so basically, I'm gonna, I'm gonna discuss to you guys about who not to date, and then the following week or next week, I'll be discussing to you guys about who to date or who you should date. So basically, I know there's going to be some hurt feelings. Um, I know that people is going to be offensive. And frankly, you know, like, I really don't care because all I care about is protecting my own people, especially people who have special needs. And I'm just looking out for them. And that's my job is looking out for people who has special needs. So, I'm going to be a little bit harsh, but it's to help them um, protect themselves and just giving them good advice. So, uh, who should you not date? This is a very important question. My advice to you guys is you should not date someone who's not mentally ready to to have a relationship. So like when you go out on a date and you ask them a questions, what are you looking for? And they're like beating around the bushes, saying I'm just looking for friends that could lead to like relationship. Um, when they say those type of things and things like that, it just tells me that they just want to mess around with you and then just move on to the next one. Like they're not looking for marriage. And basically, what you actually do want to look for is you want to look for someone that is ready to be marriage. Dating, to be honest, dating is actually meant for marriage. That's what dating is about. It's it's basically going towards your goals to marriage. So that's what dating is supposed to be about. It's not supposed to be just relationship. Well, it could be. It actually it can be just relationship, but really, really, it's for marriage. You're dating towards your marriage. That's part of that's what dating is about. Is who do you look for in a marriage, um, and things like that. So, um, I would say so. Basically, for the one who you should not date, um, you also should not date someone who's mentally ill. Trust me, I'm a huge component on this. Don't date someone who's bipolar, who's schizophrenic, or who's both. And the reason why I say that is because they can be really dangerous. Even if they take medication for it, sometimes you know, I mean it'll work, but like the medicine like helps block whatever it is, helps block them and it helps them become stable. But over time, if they forget taking their medication and things like that, you know, things can get really, really bad. I mean, trust me. Um, I experienced this, and what I experienced is I've been experienced being abused by someone who's, you know, bipolar or who's schizophrenic. Mainly just bipolar. I've been abused a lot being with someone who's bipolar. It's it's not it's not healthy to be with someone who's bipolar or schizophrenic or schizoaffective or who has PTSD. Um, Now depression, it kind of depends. Um, but really, I wouldn't go out with someone who has depression as well. If they take their medication for it, great. Um, just have them continue to take that medication. If you do choose to go out with someone who has depression or who has PTSD, um, but really, if they don't take any medication or go to counseling or anything like that, don't be with that person because it's not healthy for you. Trust me, I've been there and I already been through all of that. Um, Next thing I would say is don't go. I would say don't go out with a person who's asking for money. Um, the reason why I say don't be with a person that asks for money and things like that is because they're more they're more as like a gold digger, and basically they just want to use you for your money. So when somebody, you know, asks you for money, or when somebody say how much you make on, let's say, on the first date and stuff like that, it's, you should cut that person off and just move on to the next one, or just move on with your life, things like that, because what you don't want is you don't want that person to suck your finances out of you, men or women. It doesn't matter who it is. You know, you don't want them to take advantage of you and suck the life out of you. Um, Also, um, you should not date someone who's unequally yoked. The reasons why is because there's going to be a lot of conflict, especially with different religion. Let's say if you're if you are Christian and you're dating a Muslim, well, there's going to be some type of conflict, um, especially when choosing a church. Because if, let's say, you have kids, well, the kids will be so confused because they don't know which church they should go to. They should either go to Muslim or a Christian church. It's not going to work. Trust me, it doesn't work. So, you shouldn't date someone who's unequally yoked, um, and so on and so forth. Um, it's gonna cause a lot of issues. Um, I would say also you shouldn't date someone who like takes advantage of you or disrespects you. What I mean by disrespect you is I mean that someone who emotionally like breaks you down, or someone who's like emotionally like abusive, or emotionally or mentally abusive towards you. The reason why you should not date that person is because they could bring you way down. It, it brings you way down to the point where you will go crazy, and it gets to the point where you're starting to becoming depressed, or that you feel like you're alone, or that nobody doesn't care about you, and things like that. And I don't want you I don't want you to go through all of that stuff. So, um as and so on and so forth. Also, I don't want you to date manipulators and narcissistic. And the reason of that is because I don't want them to manipulate you to do whatever it is, and then they just play games on you. That's very hurtful, and it's also mentally and emotionally abusive. So you shouldn't date someone who's a manipulator, or who is also a narcissistic. It's, it'll bring you down. It makes you feel, weak. It makes you feel, you know, really bad. And it can lead you to becoming really, really depressed and really, really down. And it's just unhealthy, and things like that. And so, those are the, few people that you shouldn't date. You shouldn't date emotionally and mentally abusive people. You shouldn't date narcissistic or manipulators. You also shouldn't date someone who's unequally yoked. And also, don't date someone who's, mentally ill. Um, they can be dangerous. Uh, they can either put you in jail, or they can either, you know, abuse you and things like that. And also, and for men and women, but basically this is definitely for men. Um, don't date someone who is, how to say this. Don't date someone who is physically challenging you. And what I mean by that is I mean by don't date a woman who's like a man, you know, who goes to your face and just challenge you and tell you, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? And like, and also like, you shouldn't date a woman who hits you because um the reasons why is because they want to either you know want you to hit them, and so when you hit them and things like that, uh, they can call the police and say, "Oh, he hit me," and then they throw you in jail, things like that. So for men, especially for men who has special needs, the police, and I'll be honest with you, the police, they don't care, you know, what disability you have, or they don't care if you have autism or cerebral. All they care about is, taking you to jail and getting taxpayer money. That's all they care about. And so, I'm just trying to help you, especially for men, trying to help you to um, who you shouldn't, date. And if a woman does challenge you, physically and goes to your face and, tries to like have you hit her, you should leave. You should leave the relationship, leave everything. Don't go to that person and, leave that relationship permanently. Now, for women, um, if for women, um, person you shouldn't go out with is a man that hits you. If a guy abuses you and things like that, you should leave that relationship. You should leave and just go and do other things, whatever it is. I would say go to your family's house, or go to, I think it's a battered women's shelter. You should go to those programs and get help, um, and things like that. You shouldn't be in that relationship with a guy that's abusive. So again, I want to say thank you for watching this video. Um, I know on the next series I'll be talking about who you should date and and why you should date this person and what's the purpose and things like that. So um, just want to say thank you for watching this video, and I will see you on the next one. Take care. Bye.